Hello, friends. In the last video, we explored how to define a function, call a function, and return value from a function. Today, we are going to take our discussion forward and talk about the different types of parameters in Python. So, functions in Python can accept inputs in multiple ways. In this video, we are going to understand these different types of parameters, and this will really help us write more flexible and readable code. So let's get started. First, let's clear up a common confusion between parameters and arguments. So here I have a function called as greetings. It takes name as an input. So name is a parameter here. What is a parameter? A parameter are variable names inside function definition. And when I call this function greetings, I pass the value rn. So rn is argument. Arguments are the actual values you pass when calling the function. So once again, name is the parameter here and rn is the argument. So now with this out of our way, let's talk about different types of function parameters in Python. Let's go through them one by one. So let's first talk about the positional parameters. So here I have a function called as info. It takes two parameters, name and age, and it goes ahead and prints this statement here. My name is whatever the name is, and I'm these many years old. Now, if we were to call this function, we'll say info and we'll pass the name and age. These are our arguments, the values that we are passing to our parameters. And the name variable here will hold the value or capture the value rn, while age here will have the value 7. Now, what if I swap the order here? I change this and pass 7 first and then the rn. So, is Python interpreter smart enough to identify that actually I was trying to pass rn or the name variable and age uh, I was passing 7? The answer is no. Whatever value or in whichever order we are passing the value, in the same order, it would be captured by these variables here. So first I'm passing the value 7. It would be captured by the first parameter. The second value that I'm passing would be captured by the second parameter. So that means we are passing the argument by position. The first argument goes to the first parameter, the second goes to the second parameter, and so on. So here, in the case of positional arguments, the order is important. The order in which you pass the value is important. And you have to maintain the order of the parameters while passing the values of these parameters. The next up, we have default parameters. So we can set default values for the parameters. If the user who's calling the function doesn't provide the argument value, the default value is used. So let's understand this with an example. So I'll take this previous function, and here if I don't pass the value for the name variable, it will give us error. We have seen this in our previous session also. So this will give me error. What is the error? That greetings missing one required positional argument name. So it was expecting me to pass the value of this parameter name, and I did not pass any value. So that is why we are getting this error. Now I want to give this flexibility where if user doesn't provide any value, I want the name variable to take a default value. So here you can use default parameter. You can say name is equal to, let's say the default value is guest. So that means that if a user doesn't pass the value of the name variable while calling this function, it will take the default value guest. It will not give me any error. So now it is giving us hello guest. But in case I provide a value, let's say Rahul, I pass a value for this variable name or this parameter name, then this value that I'm passing will get precedence over the default value. So now name variable will hold the value Rahul, and it is going to print hello Rahul. So that's our default argument. We are passing a default value here. Next up, we have keyword arguments. So in this example, the when we were calling this info function, the order in which we were passing the values was important. But then you can use keyword arguments where you give the name of the variable or name of the parameter, then equal, and then pass the value 7. Here also I'll say age is equal to, actually, age is equal to 7, name is equal to Aryan. And now let's run it. So it's giving us my name is Aryan and I'm 7 years old. So in the case of keyword arguments, the position is not important. We can specify the argument by name, making our functions call more clearer and more flexible. So here we only have 2 parameters, but think of a situation where your function has 10 parameters. And if you're calling your function and passing your positional arguments, when you go back and revisit your function call, it becomes very difficult for you to understand what's going on there. It's difficult to read it, right? What you're passing. But if you use keyword argument, it's very crystal clear to you as to what you are passing or which parameter you are passing what value. So today in this video, we have learned about positional parameters, default parameters, and keyword arguments in Python. In the next video, we will explore the args and kwargs. So stay tuned. See you in the next one. Thank you for watching.